Good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a good day. We are getting ready to make another cute Valentine's box. This time we're using the Hugs for Love bundle, and that Hugs for Love bundle has the To the Point label punch in it, and that you will absolutely need to make this box. I'm also going to show you a little trick. Notice how I have this little tiny label, this label with the greeting on it. I'm going to show you how I made that. And it will make your punch a lot more versatile because now you can layer things on top of there, and you'll get a lot more mileage out of that punch. So these boxes are super cute. They're not that hard to make. And tomorrow, if you're on my email list, you will get a project sheet to make the Hugs for Love boxes sent to your email address. Now, to get on my email list, all you need to do is go down below in the description of this video and click on the link and get on my email list. If you're already on my email list, you will get a project sheet each week. So that is pretty cool. And when you subscribe to my email list, I also allow you to go back in history and pull up back project sheets. And I have project sheets now. I've been doing this for 5 years. So I have a lot of project sheets out there with different dies. Some use Stampin' Up! Products, some you don't need Stampin' Up! Products, but they're just a big variety of different 3D projects, sometimes fancy fold cards, and other fun things to make with paper. Thank you, all of you, for joining me this morning. I ask you, if you ever have a question along the way, please ask it. I want to answer it if I can. And so please do that, whether I'm going live or whether you're watching this as a recording afterwards. So right now we're in the month of January, and I have a new host code for you for this month. Here it is. That's my January 2025 host code. And if you spend $50 with me this month, I will be sending you the Sunny Days Iridescent Dots in February. In addition, if you spend just a teeny tiny bit more, if you spend at least $60 before shipping and tax, Stampin' Up! Will send you, or you can choose a product out of our celebration brochure. And there are two levels. There's the $60 level and there's the $120 level. And if you hit 120, you can choose two of the 60 level items, or you can choose a 120 item. So just out of, I'll pick something that I actually have. I haven't used this yet, but whoop, right here, the Friendly Seagull stamp set is super cute. They always seem to have a cute animal stamp set for each celebration, and this time it's the Friendly Seagulls. Super cute. We also have a lot of different papers this time around. Let me pull up one of the papers, one or two. There's the Bloom Impressions paper right there that you can choose. We've got a paper that matches the cute mushroom bundle in the mini catalog. Whoop, here we go. So these can be earned with a minimum $60 order, and then it's as much, like if you spend $180, then you get to choose 3 items. Oh, I'll show you an example of a 120. This one has been popular. The heart-shaped bundle coming up for Valentine's Day. That one's been very popular. So yeah, this is just a great way to get more bang for your buck in January and February, on top of my host code gift. But you have to spend a little bit more than 50. My cutoff is 50. All right, let me pop this aside. Is there anything else I need to tell you? We are using the Hugs for Love bundle. So here's the stamp set that matches it. Notice it has these cute little frames, and it's got some hearts, and it's got some really nice greetings that can be used outside of Valentine's Day, like sending you a big hug, lots of hugs and kisses. And this greeting in particular, you could put hugs, Hershey's hugs and Hershey's kisses in the box, which makes that kind of sweet. Or you can just put kisses in there, like I did. But or life is better with you, you make me smile. So this can be used for other occasions as well. So it's kind of versatile. And this, if you buy the bundle, this is the punch you're getting. It's called the To the Point label punch, and it comes with the Hugs for Love bundle, or you can purchase it separately. But I love the greetings just that much that of course I wanted both. The other thing I wanted to point out, and I don't have this on my supply list, but the Bright Borders stamp set is a standalone stamp set, and it also matches the To the Point label punch, and so you have even more greetings to choose from. I could see this box being made for weddings as little wedding favors, and then you could use one of these alternate frames and like a thank you. Or when I do little tiny wedding boxes, I also, you might want to put the wedding party's name and the date of the wedding on the box, and then print those out and then punch them out. But if you do that, if you're doing that, like printing out the person's name, you could take that and then stamp the frame around it before you punch it out, so you can add like a colorful frame onto that. So that's kind of neat. But anyway, this is an additional stamp set that matches the punch, and haven't always done that anymore, like have more than one thing that matches the punch. So that's really nice that we have that. It gives it a little bit more versatility beyond kind of the lovey-dovey Valentine's Day. So I really like that. Okay, I think I've covered everything I need to tell you about before we jump in and get started. So let me switch to my other camera here. Put some things away, and let me show you some of the other boxes I made. So this kind of is my featured box, lots of hugs and kisses. And this box, it's snug, but it opens, it has just the right amount of stability with the top. It does slide nicely, but it goes on and off fairly easily. So that's kind of what you want in a box. This one holds about 5 Hershey's Kisses. It could also hold a Lindor truffle, a Ferrero Rocher truffle, probably can hold, I had some Hershey's Hearts, maybe we'll pull those out later. I think it would hold maybe 2 or 3 Hershey's Hearts. So it is a nice size for the small foil wrap candy, a lot of the different ones that you can get. Now these ones I haven't filled, but this one I did, You Make Me Smile. And I'm going to show you, you can make this label wider or skinnier. So you can change it if your greeting is a little different. Like my Happy Valentine's Day greeting is quite skinny. It's a little skinnier, and this one you can see is a little bit larger. So you can adjust your label when you make this top label to different sizes. Now this is the first box I made. This was my prototype box, and I actually stuck this on the wrong side, but I wanted to show you it nonetheless. This is one that is made just white on white, which is also a possibility. I stamped the frame here in real red. These hearts are in Flirty Flamingo, the greetings in real red. I used some Stampin' Write markers, and I added some little speckles, and I used the speckle marker technique where you kind of hit your lid, and I added some additional speckles onto there. And this looks nice too. One thing I noticed, if I did a white top label and I did the rest of the box a color, it somehow, it looked a little bit too stark white up at the top, and that's why I decided to kind of go for this look rather than this look. But if you wanted to do like a white box, this you could absolutely do, and this looks super cute as well. And my paper has a lot of color and brightness to it, so I think it just kind of overwhelmed the top, and I think it looks nicer with a little bit of color and then the white in the center. But if you're doing an all white box, I think this looks really cute too. And here I just used a red and white baker's twine for the bow. So some different options for you when you're making this box. And you can make the box. I made it the top out of Designer Series paper. The reason I could do that is because I've got cardstock on the bottom, and that gives the box some stability, and it goes all the way up and down. But if you wanted to, you could do cardstock instead of the Designer Series paper too. It doesn't matter. That will just make your box more sturdy, but since it's a small box, I was able to use Designer Series paper just to make the sides of this box. Okay, I need to grab my scoring board. It is all the way across the room here. Let's pop this down on here. Okay, we are going to start by, well, let's do it like I have it in the project sheet. Let's start. This is the to the point label punch. I wrote this on here with my own handwriting. There we go. Which comes in the Hugs for Love bundle. And we're just going to punch out 2 labels. One for the top and one for the bottom. Let's see if I can squeeze these in right here. Because we're going to do an extra label when we do the top and we do the embossing. We're going to use another piece to stick on top of there. It's just easier to do that, and just because the punching of these goes so quickly, like you can just punch and you're done. Okay, let me put that back. So that's what you'll need first. And then you're going to need a piece for the top part of the box. And this one measures 6 3/4 by 1 1/2. We'll grab our stylus tool, and we're going to score, first of all, this 1 1/2 side. We're going to put it at the top, and we're going to score at the 1 1/4 inch mark. I'm using my big ball of the stylus on the Designer Series paper so it doesn't go all the way through and accidentally cut through the cardstock. So at the 1 1/4 inch mark, score. And then we're going to take that skinny scored segment, that little 1/4 inch, and we're going to put it up. And we're going to score now at the 1 1/4 inch mark, the 2 1/4 inch mark, the 3 1/4 inch mark, the 4 1/2 inch mark, 5 1/2 inch mark, and 6 1/2 inch mark. I'm going to have a diagram for you. It's going to look like that, so you can see what your piece will look like afterwards. So let's just set this aside, and then I'm going to grab, we're going to make this one, obviously, it's a pink one. We're going to make it out of Melon Mambo. The reason I made it out of Melon Mambo is because it's one of the lighter Valentine's Day colors, so you can see what I'm doing a little bit better. Okay. Then this piece here measures 6 1/2 by 1 1/2. 6 1/2 by 1 1/2. Put the short side up at the top. Since I'm using cardstock, I can switch to my small ball, and I'm going to score at the 1 1/4 inch mark. Let's turn this piece so that that short scored segment is up. Then we're going to score at the 1 1/8 inch mark, the 2 1/8 inch mark, the 3 1/8 inch mark. Then we're going to go to the 4 1/4 inch mark, the 5 1/4 inch mark, and the 6 1/4 inch mark. And that's what it looks like Okay, we are done scoring. So let's prep these pieces. I'm going to prep the bottom first because it's a little easier to see than cutting into this designer series paper. But this little trick with cutting the tabs, one of my team members, she emailed me after the heart box cutting sheet, and I had mentioned that my mother-in-law had told me to fold and then cut the little V's. Well, there was one other person that mentioned doing that even before my mother-in-law, and that was on a video earlier in the fall, and I had no idea who it was, but I wanted to give a shout out to my team member Louise Haydu, and she was the one that first mentioned this, and then my mother-in-law kind of reinforced that when she talked about it this Christmas. And so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut little V's into this bottom section here, but to do that, if you fold over and then cut, you can kind of see where I cut. It is much easier to do that than to do this. Maybe for some of you, you'd like to do this, cut the V in that way. But if you fold over on the score line here, and then just do like a little angle, just like this, up to that score line right there. It's a lot easier and faster. And okay, and then we come to the end where we have this little tiny square. Cut the square away. And then I'm just gonna angle cut this bottom tab here just a teeny tiny bit, just so when we're adhering it together, it comes together nicely. And then I still need to angle cut both ends. So I'm going to bring these together right here and see I've already cut away that square. So now I'm just going to come over here on this side and angle cut both of those at the same time, like that. Okay. So there is the piece that will be for the bottom of the box. And now we're going to do the one for the top. This one's the 6 3/4 inch length piece. We're going to fold and do those little cuts. And remember, you can always just go ahead and cut the V's like this way too. If that makes more sense to you, you can cut the V's like that. We just do that so we can fold. I'm going to turn my heat down one notch. It's still very cold in the Boston area, but it was a little better today. There wasn't so much wind today, so we actually could walk outside, but it's still not 100% warm. And I just always feel cold. So, okay, I cut my little corner square away. I'm just going to take a little tiny bit of that tab. I'm going to fold this in half. This is just kind of sticks out. If you want to, you can tuck this tab in when you're cutting away this little angle. Okay. All right, so now you have a lot of little pieces of V's hanging about. Let's get rid of those. And let's prep. This is going to be for the lid of the box, and we're going to do the lid of the box first. And I need to match up the side tab with this. I like to do that when it's flat, so if I just fold this over along the score line, I guess it really doesn't matter which score line here you fold along. You could do this and glue it over like this, but if you go 2 score lines in from the side here, and we're just going to put glue here on this little tab. Don't want too much, but just enough. And then we're going to bring over this end piece, and they're going to overlap. If you do this while it's on the surface, on your work surface, It's so much easier. Okay. All right, so now we have a little hexagon, and we're going to fold down all these tabs. Okay, so take a look at your punched shape. These straight sides here, these are the ones that we're going to adhere the longer. You can see there's two longer tabs, okay? There's this one, and these two and these two are shorter. So the longer one is going to go along here, and the other longer one's going to go along here. So basically it's going to go on like this. So one thing to note, when we're gluing this on, we're going to leave a little bit of a gap, like probably about 1/16 of an inch on this end. We're going to glue this end first, and then we're going to leave 1/16 of an inch on this end, and then we're going to wrangle the sides in place. But we're going to put glue on all the tabs first. You just want to keep an eye on the two longer ones so that you know that you're putting them in the right spots. So let's go ahead and put glue on all of these tabs. Okay, so then again, this is the same thing with the heart box. The best way to do it is when you're looking straight down. So I'm going to have to try and do this without having my head directly in the way, which is kind of hard to do. So just give me a second. That's a little bit too much. Okay, this needs to be, if you can see, you can just see a little peak of the cardstock underneath, and you want that to be fairly straight and centered. Then you're going to come to the other side and do the same thing. This truly is a little easier, I think, if it's on a flat surface, but if I do that, my head's going to be in the way, and that's not good. Then you're going to come over on the sides and just make sure they've lined up nicely, and then just press them down. I'm just going to go over all the tabs with my finger and give them a little press, to make sure that they're like right down on the cardstock. So now I'm going to just show you what that looks like. Right here you can see there's just a tiny bit of cardstock on this. This is the long side. If I switch to the other long side, it's about the same. And then the sides kind of come together last, but that's how much cardstock will be showing. And the same on the other side. Okay. So that is the lid of the box, and now we're going to do the bottom of the box. We're going to, again, we're going to fold this over 2 score lines in, 1, 2. We'll put glue on this little side tab, and we're going to take this end tab, and it's going to stick right on top of here. And it's so nice to press down on a seam when it's flat instead of in the air. And it makes it very easy to align because I can take a really good look and make sure the top and the bottom are nicely aligned. Okay, again, we've got a hexagon, and well, a hexagon, I don't know if it's a hexagon if all the sides are not equal, but it looks like a hexagon. Not all the sides are equal, but it's hexagonal in shape. Okay, so again, we have 2 longer sides. You need to find those. So just take a look. If you need to measure, the longer side will be 1 1/4 inches. And also, I think it will be hard if you don't put the long side next to the long side when you stick this inside the box. So it will probably tell you that, yeah, it's not going to work so well. So you want the long sides to match up. And then your box has the tabs up, and we're going to use this lid of the box to help us add this. When we're adding this, you want to keep in mind, you want to match up the points like this, right? We don't want it to go wonky like this. So you want to make sure your points are matching up. Okay, so let's put glue on all of these tabs. And this truly is not a hard box to make at all. And it just fits together very nicely. You can see what the fit is here. I'm going to stick this on top. And I like to feel with my fingers. Somehow, I don't know if your fingers can do this too, but somehow I can kind of feel like, okay, this seems equal all the way around. And so I think it's even better than my eyes at detecting where everything needs to go. And just like with the heart boxes we made last week, you want to take a second and just give a little pressure around the border of the box just to help that glue adhere in place. Once you've done that, you're going to carefully, gently lift this off and turn it over. And now you're going to come again and press with the tabs on the work surface and give them a little press just to make sure they really are sticking down well. Okay, and there you go. There's the bottom of the box, and it will fit now inside here like that. Then make sure you don't do what I did with the white box and like stick your top on the wrong end. You're going to flip over the box and do a little test. Okay, yes, this is the top of the box. All right, let's decorate it. Let's bring back in our Melon Mambo cardstock. Nina asked a question that I just kind of will point out while I have this down. She asks, what is in the shot glass holding your glue? This is just excess glue that has come out. There is a little bit of leakage, and then it dries in this lovely kind of yellow color. I do find I just leave this upside down all the time, and my glue lasts a really good long time. I just love this method. I have never been happier when adhering things, having this glue upside down on my work surface. Give it a try. It works really well for me. I think it's worked well for others. If you're looking for a similar jar to mine, a small baby food container glass. I like glass better than plastic because glass has some heft to it. This had some honey in it, a little glass jar of honey. You can kind of see that it's a honey pot. This one measures, it's about 2.5 inches high, and it's about, at its widest, it's about maybe 2.25. The mouth is about two inches across, which is a nice width. So if you have like a little jar at home, I would use that. It's just got a nice weight to it, and that way it will hold the glue no matter how full the bottle is, and usually it doesn't tip. Usually takes me a good knock to tip it over. All right, we are going to do the top now. And I'm going to take my embossing bundy, which comes with the Embossing Editions toolkit. I've got my tweezers, which also come with the embossing toolkit. I can't speak. Actually, I might not need these because I've got a big piece of cardstock to go off of this time, but these are handy for other things. Okay, let's grab Versamark pad, and we've got gold embossing powder, and I have dumped it into a little container because it makes my life easier. And so let's go ahead and rub this on here. This helps stray flecks from not sticking to my surface. We'll grab this, and we're gonna do let's see, we have done 2 of these like with a big heart. Oh no, but then I've done the same with this one. We're gonna do this one, the one with the 2 hearts. There are 2 frames that come with your stamp set. So I'm just going to ink this up. You choose which one you want. And then if you use the bright borders, there are 3 frames in that one. So Just choose, and then we're going to stamp this down. And gold embossing powder. Let's sprinkle it on here. Okay. My Embossing Additions toolkit did come with a brush to brush things off, but I don't know where that went. So there are some stray flecks in the center here. I'm just gonna brush these off before they, actually it might not matter if they're in the center because we're sticking a label there. But if that happens, it's always good. Sometimes for whatever reason, even the Embossing Buddy does a really good job, but sometimes if you've stuck your finger right on there, and our hands do have oils in them, so it might not have been enough. Or I might not have flicked the cardstock hard enough. So I'm gonna use my heat tool. Just give it a second to warm up, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do this. You can see it start to change color. Maybe the heart will show you. Okay, this is when the tweezers would be good because I don't want to burn my fingers. This heat tool gets really hot. I'm just going to come around one more time, make sure everything's melted. Wave that in the air for just a second because I don't want it to be hot and molten. I'm going to wipe these on my pants just to get some of the powder from the Embossing Buddy out of there. And then we're going to come through. I'm going to match this up with a punch and give it a little punch. I experimented with colors. I tried white, I tried gold, but the gold really does look the nicest with this gold paper that I'm using. This is the, oh shoot, that's across the room here. Oh, it's so gorgeous. It is the Marbled Elegance Designer Series paper. It's got one side kind of with a flat pattern, and then the other side have these beautiful marbled textures with gold. It's very, very pretty. Okay, let's make a label. And then we need to decide what greeting we put on there. I've already done a You Make Me Smile. I did lots of hugs and kisses, and I did Happy Valentine's Day. So let me know which one you want to do. Life is Better with You, Sending You a Big Hug, or You and I Make the Best Team. Those are the three that are left. So which one do you want? We should probably do, I'm going to say, let's do either Sending You a Big Hug or You and I Make the Best Team. And the reason I want to do those two is because I want to show you how to make your label a little bit bigger, more easily, because this one would just be kind of a regular label. Okay, let's just, I'll make two labels so we can see how this works. So you're going to take your punch. You're going to take a piece of basic white cardstock and you're going to punch it. I'm going to make two labels, so I'm going to punch this again and make another punch. But you only need one label to make this label here. Okay, so throw that out. If I'm making a skinny label, like the Happy Valentine's Day, it's pretty easy. I'm just going to grab onto the very tippy end of this little point. I'm going to slide it in the side, and I'm just going to line up my sides right here. I have enough room right there just to hold that and kind of have enough room to hold it, just barely, and make enough room for my Happy Valentine's Day. And then I'm going to go ahead and punch. let's see. Yeah, it's about the same as it was before. So if I'm doing Happy Valentine's Day, that's how much I'm going to need. This piece right here, I'm going to throw it out. Then we've got another label. I wanted to do this one, like lots of hugs and kisses. That label is taller. So we're going to need a Post-it note. Grab yourself a Post-it note and put your label on this point right here. And then you're going to kind of go through here like this. And what I did, like say we're doing one of these. Let's say we're doing sending you a big hug. Sending you a big hug. Okay, so I'm just gonna see right here. Okay, how much do I actually need to get this label on here? It's gonna be quite significant. Let's make it bigger. Okay, I think that should work. Okay, that should be enough where I have it sitting at. Right there. Okay, so now I'm gonna punch this. We took off about that much of the label. Okay, we can throw that out. So, okay, where did my label go? Here it goes. Okay, let's grab this and let's grab a block. And let me grab my Melon Mambo ink pad. And say we're doing this one, sending you a big hug. We're going to ink up, make sure it's nice and inky, this label. I'm going to make sure it gets all on here like this. Okay, that looks good. Okay, voila. And then, to make this a little bit smaller, I'm just going to cut this like this. Very easy. I'm just following this outer line like here, and it's not that hard to get it straight like this for a shortcut. And now you have a mini label that you could put here. I'll just show you. You could put this onto here now, like that. Okay. For like a Happy Valentine's Day, you also have, this label is going to be, this is longer. Happy Valentine's Day is longer. So you just want to center this. Whatever you do, you're always going to try and center it. I'm centering the P on happy on the center, kind of like that. And then again, we just do a little cut. And a little cut. And then we can, I'm going to do Happy Valentine's Day on here. Since I did show you how to do this one, but you can do it like for any of the greetings on there. You just need to make sure this width is wide enough when you're doing that punched off part of the piece. And then you're just going to cut off whatever you want on the sides to make it a little bit smaller. And that will make your punch a lot more useful. A lot more useful. Okay, so let's flip this over. We'll close this up. And we're going to grab some dimensionals. I've pretty much used up all this sheet, but the sides are also sticky. So guess what? Yesterday I cut all around the edges. I just cut in here. That's kind of the frame for the dimensionals, but it's sticky and I'm going to use it. All right, so Happy Valentine's Day. We're just going to center this on here. That looks good. Okay, and then one other thing I want to do is I want to tie some gold, some of this gold twisted thread. Well, there's a bit of a trick to this thread because it's very slidey. Do you know what I mean? Metallic sometimes can be a little slippery. And so I do use a little ribbon tire when I'm tying my ribbon. I can tie ribbon like nicely without one of these, but if I want to do a bunch of uniform bows, this is the way to go, because this way I know exactly what I'm doing. So gold twisted thread and a mini glue dot. Let's get the mini glue dot ready first. So my mini glue dot is right here. It's on this roll right here. So instead of a mini glue dot, I want to create a mini glue blob, like a little, like I'm going to make this smaller. I'm going to use my piercing tool. Just use something, let me move this into the camera more. I'm using just a sharp, you can use like the top of a scissor, and I'm just winding this into kind of a blob. I don't know if you can see that. Just created a little bit of a blob on the end right here. Okay, so I know where that is. Now I'm going to tie my piece. If you want to see where I got this, this is from a fellow demonstrator, and she sells this. And I have the link down below near the end of my supply list area. So once I get this to the point where I've done that first loop, I'm going to stick my mini glue blob right there before I do that last tying, because I want that glue blob in there to kind of hold this thing in place, because it is kind of, so let me just remember, this one comes over, and then this one comes this way, and then this one comes like this. When I'm doing that last tying, that glue dot is actually incorporated into the knot, and that helps keep it in place. Then I'm going to come through here, cut the ends. Also, ribbon's very slidey, so when you're done, go ahead and wind it up right away, and then kind of give it a little tug, and this end will nest into the other gold threads, and then I put it away right away so it does not unravel. And then, okay, let's get this situated. Where's my glue? We'll put this on to the top of the box. And you can see, here's my seam. So I actually want to flip the box so when the front of the box is facing, the seam is at the back. And then I'm just going to lay this right over top. And let's put this away, this away. Got a lot of things on my let's move some things out of the way. Let's clean up so my work surface doesn't look so crazy. Okay, push everything back so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, here we go. So now we're going to take this and slide it off. And this still has a little bit of that glue dot exposed. And then we're going to use that glue dot. It works both for the knot, holding it in place, and it also glues down on your project. And I think that's the best of both worlds. It's incorporated into the knot, plus it's going to hold down on your project. So that's how I do the little, and there you go. It's just super cute and simple. And here's the white one in case you wanted to do one in white. And they're just a sweet little box. And then think about this. Make it with the bright borders. Make it with floral paper. It's got a little floral design. Make it for weddings. Make it for, there's a congrats, graduation favors. And look at, I like this reading, the future is bright. That would be cute for graduation too. So just little favor boxes, and you can make them in whatever color scheme, whatever paper you want. So I hope that you have enjoyed that, and we'll look forward to getting the project sheet tomorrow. If you enjoyed my video, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel or give me a thumbs up or leave me a comment. I appreciate all those, and it helps me get seen by other people. And this is my small business, and I really appreciate all the help that you can give me with that. Thanks so much for sticking with me. I am going to go through and say hello to all of you who have joined me this morning. I hope you're having a great day. I'm looking forward to the weekend. Good morning, Nancy. And she's like, I'm so sad watching the news about the fires in California. It's awful. There are, it's hard to see people lose their homes and lives, and very sad. And I think doing things like this, like paper crafting, is really helpful so that we don't just dwell on the sad things that are happening, and that we focus on lifting up those around us. And sometimes doing the things that we do, like making little boxes, it might seem insignificant, but it is part of the power of happy, the power of good in this world. So, just try in your piece of the world, in your circle of influence, try and spread happiness, right? So, yeah. Good morning, Mary. And she said she just ordered the bundle. Well, awesome, because it is a great bundle. I love the punch, and doing the little label a little smaller makes it a lot more versatile, so you can layer that up and get a little bit more use out of the punch. Verb Blue says hello. She woke up to a heavy snow once again. Oh my goodness. Winter wonderland here in your part of Missouri. Yeah, and you probably don't always get this much snow, do you? So that is quite different. Here in the Boston area, we've only really had one snowfall that stuck on the ground, and it was while we were up in Canada, and it was almost melted by the time we got back, so there was nothing really to shovel. So we'll probably still get snow, and it will probably be in February, and it will probably be while my husband's gone on a business trip too, so that's always fun. We are I'm fully intending we will get snow. Right now it's just been so cold that I think it's kept the snow away. So either super cold or super snowy, and I think I'll take the cold over the super snowy at this point. Hello, Mary. Good morning, Les. And she says, hello, and shared. We'll catch the replay later. Thank you. And I can't tell if Les is a guy or a girl's name, so I'm sorry, I can't tell. But I'm so glad you joined me. Hello, Linda from Rainy, Oregon. Hello, Valerie from Illinois. Hello, Judy and Sandy. And she says she almost made it on time. Well, I didn't quite make it on time this morning, so you're probably better than me. Hello, Cindy from very rainy Everett, Washington. Hello, Marilyn from North Carolina. Hello, Janice from Canada, and she says heartfelt thoughts for California. Yeah, Canada deals with a lot of forest fires, especially in summer, not so much in winter. And I was listening to the CBC this morning, and they have sent and are sending more equipment down to the forest fires. They sent some water bombers and I think a helicopter, and so I love how the firefighting community helps each other out when there's bigger fires, and they help, if they're not dealing with a lot, they send help from different areas. I love that. Anyway, let's keep going. Hello, Lois from Nebraska, and hello, Nina. She said, help everyone's out. Give Brenda a thumbs up. Thank you, Nina. Holly says she loves how I use the punch. Well, thank you. Ruth says, thank you for Brenda for the cute boxes. I appreciate all your time working these out. Thanks again. You're very welcome. I love working out the measurements. It's a little bit of an addiction for me. Just give me a box and I will like design it. So much fun for me. Hello, Sweet Pea from Massachusetts. Hello, Louise, and thank you again, Louise, for your great tip. Hello, Karen. She says a little late. Janice says wonderful size, perfect for earrings for her granddaughter. Yes, that would be true. And you know what you can do if you're doing earrings? You can do, like, if you don't already have like a little thing that the earrings come on, or if you want to make it like you don't like the little thing that they come on, you can take a piece of cardstock and you can kind of fit it inside the box and you can score it. I'm going to just fold it here. And you can kind of do like an angled presentation and like you might have a 16th inch circle punch, or an 1/8 inch would work maybe as well. And you put your 2 dots for your earrings if they are for pierced ears. And then you can put this inside the box. I'd probably make this a bit shorter, but then you can kind of have like an angled, it would fit inside the box and be a little shorter and it would kind of angle down. You could even make this back part like a little taller so that it just kind of angles down for earrings. That would be kind of cool. Okay, that's just an aside. Hello, Cindy, and she says she so appreciates that you spend the time calculating out all the measurements so we don't have to. That's my favorite part. So of everything, out of all of it, it's the measurements. When I bring that box together and it works, I'm happy, and then I have to decorate it. And the decorating is my second favorite part, but working at the measurements is my first favorite part. I don't know why. Okay, let's keep going. Louise says, thanks for the shout out. You're welcome, Louise. Let's keep going. Judy says, very clever tip, Louise. Hello, Ellie from Connecticut. I hope it's not too cold for you this morning. Already answered your question, Nina, about the glue. Bear Blue says, another cute project, Brenda. You're so inspiring. Thanks for this one to add to her list. You're welcome. And Linda says, I love this channel, and Brenda, you're the greatest. Aw, you're so sweet, Linda. Judy says, my mother-in-law and my team member, Louise, had a clever tip for cutting the V shape. Yeah, and it really does save time, and it's faster and more fun. So Louise said she had the worst time with heat embossing. Even when using the embossing bunny, always get little flecks out of place. I don't know necessarily why that would be. There's just certain things that like are attracting. Like this time of year, it's a very dry and very static. I brushed my hair before I went live and it was like staticky. It's so dry in here. So every little thing like static electricity might help it, like those little embossing flecks stick. So I don't know if there's any other thing. You might want to Google and see if there's another trick. I think sometimes people use like a dryer sheet, a spent dryer sheet that has the chemicals or the stuff off of it already. I don't know if that would work, but I will say put your do a Google search and see if you come up with anything. Mary says, we have the best team. Aw, thank you. Well, I agree, but I'm not on anyone else's team, so I think my team, my Bee Stampers team, is great. And also, as an aside, if you are, during celebration, not only is it great to earn free products during celebration, but you can also get the starter kit, which is a really good deal with those markers this time around. If you have any questions about the starter kit, if you go to my blog, cubiesquest.com, let's see, right here, cubiesquest.com/join. I did a little video this week on the starter kit and the starter kit special. If you're at all interested in it, if you're spending, $100 like every month or every 2 months, the starter kit might be really worthwhile for you. And it's just a really good deal. And then you get your supplies at a discount, so you can buy more products. So, okay, just to the side. Okay, Judy liked my tip on making a smaller punch piece, and additional great tip on a different size of punch. Thanks for sharing the great tips. You're welcome. And Linda liked my tip on the glue dot on the bow maker. Yeah, that thread is kind of slidey, but it does look really nice on the boxes, so I did want to use it. Judy agrees with Linda on the tip. Susan said she loves the boxes. Cindy says, thanks again for sharing, Brenda. You're welcome. Great boxes and tips, says Sandy. And hello, Catherine. She says, beautiful boxes. Judy says, thank you for sharing the cute box with us. She says they still have a ½ inch of ice and snow on top of all the more snow yesterday. Oh, I feel so bad for you. I'm kind of I'll stop talking about how cold it is here, because I definitely don't want the snow, Judy. Joan says, pretty big snowflakes flying in Minnesota. Oh, I'm sorry, Joan. I hope it stops soon. Unless you want it to be there. In that case, then let the snow fly. But, wow. Lots of snow for you guys there in the central part of the U.S. this year. Carol Schaefer said, I made that hot air balloon box you gave instructions for. Oh, that's great. I love that. I love it whenever people make my boxes. It makes me smile. Judy says she's had static electricity in her tray for heat embossing and wipe it out with a dryer sheet. That helps. Okay, good. Yeah, I think a spent dryer sheet does help sometimes. That seems to kind of stick in my mind. I just haven't done it personally, so I can't really speak to that. Well, everyone, thank you so much for sticking with me. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Watch for my project sheet tomorrow. Let me know if you have any questions. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.